Another perfect day. Well, it's still a little breezy out, but it's not terrible. And temperature is about 45, 48 degrees. So it's a little cool, but it'll be a good ride. Dress for it, right? All right, so today I'm gonna go for a little ride and visit some family, but on this ride I'm gonna see if I can maybe hit some of these stops. So this is a, we call it the Flat Rocker Challenge, and it's put on by our local Harley owners group out of Oconomowoc. So what this is, their theme this year, because this is an all summer long thing. So what the theme is the good old days. So every one of these blue dots represents a stop. They're all numbered, and then they give you another sheet that has the numbers over here, and then it tells you what they are, what the address is, kind of what it's known for, and stuff like that. So one of the stops I want to possibly hit today is number 23, which is the Milton House in Milton. It was built in 1844, and it's known as the oldest grout building. It was also a stop on the Underground Railroad, so that's kind of its historic note. So there's, I want to say that, what is there, 48, excuse me, there's 48 stops on this list. It's 2 pages. And like I said, this is an all summer thing. Some of them are a long ways away. Like number 9 is the Fairlawn Mansion, and that's up in Superior. So if you really are ambitious, you can go. We're located somewhere down here. Between Madison and Milwaukee is where Oconomowoc is. So almost full length of the state if you want to get up there. There is a lot of them down here this year. Last year they were spread out a little more throughout the state. I forget what the theme was last year, but anyway, I'm going to take a little ride and maybe see if I can't knock off 1 or 2 of these down here. I got my 360 camera on a different mount today. I don't have the long extended stick. That stick was, it's an Insta 360 stick, but the base of it, where it attaches to the clamp, is really getting loose. I would imagine from it, you know, banging around in the wind. And I'm afraid that it's just gonna snap off and my camera's gonna be gone. I don't want that. So I'm gonna look and see if they make another style selfie stick or whatever they call it, in business stick. I might have to just get another one and see how it lasts, but that would be horrible to lose a camera. I see Insta360 came out with another one now. I've just seen it released this week, the X4. I haven't read up on it, but I did see it has replaceable lens covers. You can get lens covers for this, and I did in the beginning. And the problem is it's like a self-stick lens cover, and they have one for each side, of course. So you clean it up real nice, clean up the lens real good, and you stick it on there, and it's got this adhesive, you know, tape on there that's sort of foam like, and it obviously must just seal whatever air in there. Well, when you get it out in the sun and it's cold but it warms up inside there, the lens cover steams up, it gets moisture on it, and it looks like crap. And then on top of it, it's like whatever plastic it's made out of, it's not real, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's not, it's obviously transparent, but it still kind of messes with the visual of the images. I mean, I guess I imagine you look at your glasses, if they weren't like really perfect, everything would be kind of messed up. It's kind of like looking through a clear soda bottle. It's, you know, it's not real clear. And you can actually see that when you play it back on the computer. You play back your footage, it's like, well, what's this mark right here? And it looks kind of crappy. And so I popped them back off, and I'm risking it because if I drop it and I scratch a lens, well, there's no replacing that lens. I would imagine I could maybe send it in and get a new lens put on, but I've never looked into that either. So it's kind of nice that the new one supposedly has replaceable lenses. I haven't looked into like how they go on, or if they just snap on. I mean, it's nice with the GoPro. The GoPro, at least you can, like a quarter turn, and you can pull that lens cover off and replace it if you scratch it. So, you know, they're adventure cameras, and you're gonna take them places where, you know, they could get scratched. They should plan for it. So it's good that they made that improvement. Farming season is upon us. Not sure, but that looks like a, I don't know if that's a fertilizer spreader, or can't see with the truck. People need to remember to be patient behind these guys. This one actually has some decent mirrors on it, but some of these tractors, they don't have mirrors on them, and it's very tough to see beyond their payload. No, that's a manure spreader. So it is fertilizer. Oh wow, they're hitting this field pretty good. Wow, that truck's really spraying it out pretty good. Yep, 'tis the season. Always got to stop at a Quick Trip. They're everywhere. Don't have to go very far south, and the trees are blooming. Fields look drier. That field's planted. Doesn't look like they're open, but I can get a picture. So that's the Milton house right there. Let's go around this side here. It's like they got stables, old log cabin. Maybe I can find a little history on the Milton house here in Milton, corner of Highway M and 26. big town of Indian Ford. Indian Ford. Indian Ford or Ford. I don't know. I go through here once in a while. It's kind of a cool little town. Small town, Wisconsin. Old houses. The cool thing is this bridge. The bridge crosses over this river and it's almost right on top of a dam. The Showboat Burgers and Beer Bar. I think I stopped in there once. So yeah, so it's hard to see the dam, but usually always people fishing there. Big solar farm. That's a big one. A lot of solar farms going up. I suppose it's an alternative for a farmer. Do something different with their land. I know a lot of farmers are struggling, as they always seem to be. That is definitely a labor of love, but some of those solar farms are sort of a way for them to manage the land while they're trying to stay on their feet. From what I've heard, some of those contracts are 20-year-long contracts, and you know, they really kind of lose the control over your land. You lease it to the solar panel people, and that's their land for the 20 years or however long the contract is. But I've also heard that, you know, you get a little bit of a kickback from the amount of energy that the solar panels create. But I've heard that after a certain amount of time, those solar cells become a little weaker and they don't generate quite as much energy. So towards the end of that 20-year lease, you may not be getting as much of a kickback anymore because they're just not making that much energy. I wonder what happens after 20 years. You know, do they just pull everything up and pull out? That's a cool old truck. You know, and what is the soil like after 20 years of really not being planted on? I suppose time will tell. You know, hopefully after 20 years, maybe you get the next generation in the family that might be wanting to keep going with the farm. Who knows? these stops are pretty cool. You know, they're old, but some of them look like they were, you know, even though they're historic and they still have the historic signs up, they tend to look like they're abandoned, maybe not, or they have become a regular residential place, or I don't know, people will kind of look at you like, what are you doing, you know? And you just wonder what those places think, because we got 200 some members that are going to be doing this ride, and there could be some large groups that go out and hit some of these historic points to take a picture of themselves in front of it. My stop in Evansville was to visit with my mother. My mom, she lives down in Alabama usually, and she would come back up here to Wisconsin to pick up a few more items from her home up here and visit with us. It's always nice to visit with my mom and talk about my grandfather. Grandpa was a World War II vet, so it was kind of a cool generation. You know, I'll never think of a generation as being more hardworking and generous as the World War II vet generation. It's amazing, and then most of them are gone now. All right, got another one down. Ascalon State Park.